Hi YouTube. This is Lady Lux coming at you with a video. And the video is just talking about things that has gone on in my life the last 2 months. And maybe just talking about it will help someone else, or if someone else is in the same situation, they can shed some light to me as well. Well, the purpose of this video, um, I was 3 months pregnant. And right before my 3 month um, doctor's visit, actually 3 days before, I had a miscarriage. And that was one of the worst days of my life. Um, I don't even know where to begin. One of the bad things about it was I was at church that Friday evening, and I was sitting in church. I started having some pain and some cramping. So I went to the restroom, started having some blood. So I didn't think too much of it because they said that you would spot. Well, I called my doctor and he told me that, it's normal to bleed, but if you're not having blood clots coming out or anything, then it's fine. He told me to go home for the weekend, put my legs up, and come for my normal 3 month visit on that Monday. Well, after I got off the phone with him, I went back into the church and I placed a pad on and I was like, okay. So I didn't have any problem. I sat during the rest of the service. When I stood up to leave, all I felt was a gush of blood run down my leg. I looked down on the floor and I was bleeding profusely. So I started to panic and I went and I sent someone to get my husband and he came where I was and I went to the bathroom. When I tell you the clots were coming, the clots were gushing out. So I told him to go ahead and take me to the emergency room. So I called my doctor and let him know that I was going to the emergency room and that he would meet me there. So I went to the emergency room. They rushed me right in. I came in, they took me straight to the back. Um, I was still gushing blood and the clots were coming. I mean, huge clots. Sorry, but they were huge. So I started having like contractions. I'm like, I've never been through this, so I don't know what's going on. So um, they took me down, had a test, had some tests done, some ultrasounds. They didn't tell me anything right then. They said that the radiologist would check it and then they would get back in contact with me. They would inform the doctor and then the doctor would come tell me. But in the meantime, they wanted to see if they can hear the heartbeat. So they came, and at this time, I'd already gone to the bathroom. I kind of knew that I'd already passed the baby because the clots that were coming out and the contractions I was having. Yeah, I kind of figured that, I had already passed out. So they did they tried the heart monitor, but all they were picking up were my rhythms. They weren't picking up the baby. So um, she said that the machine that she had was not the best machine, so they didn't want to, they really didn't want to tell me that I'd already passed it, but I kind of knew at that time. So after that, I was talking to my husband and I was like, babe, I think, it's already done. It's already passed. And he, in his mind, he's like, well, don't wait, just wait and see what the doctor says because you don't know. We don't know if it really was that. But I already know. I knew that's what it was. So he was like, well, let's just wait and let's see what the doctor says. So the doctor came in and told me, yes, that we did pass the baby and there was nothing else left in there. Um, I was numb. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. I had friends and family in there with me. Only thing I could do just was cry. It just felt like, but the thing about it was that Thursday morning when I woke up, it's hard to explain it, but I didn't feel like I was pregnant. I didn't feel, I had consistent nausea, morning, noon, and night. I could not eat and then drink something. I had to eat and wait like 30 minutes later and then sip. It was that bad. Or I would throw up every time. So when I got up that Thursday morning, I didn't feel as though I was pregnant anymore. So it's it's been a month now and it's still very hard because I find myself each week I find myself counting saying I would have been 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 8 weeks, 9 weeks, 10 weeks. And then when the month came around when I lost the child, it was very hard. That was one of the hardest things for me that day. I didn't want to get out of bed. I just wanted to sleep all day long. But each day, I can say it's getting better. I still think about it. I carry all my sonograms. I still have them. I'm not going to get rid of them. I was speaking with my husband, and he said, "Why don't we just throw them away and then, we have to start afresh?" But I'm like, no, it's a part of me that I always have. And so I just wanted to come share, you know, things that happen. Maybe there's someone else that can shed some light to me because it's still hard for me. And I know someone else has also gone through it as well. So I just wanted to share my story and just tell, if you go through if you have to go through an ordeal like this, just stay strong. The only thing that I held on to was my faith and just to know that God wouldn't put anything on me that I couldn't handle. And just to say if he took this child from me, it was for a reason. And we may not know the reason now. Further down the road, we may not know the reason, but just to know that he's not going to just take life from us just to take life. There's a reason behind it. So for anyone else that's going through it, I know right at the time, people saying just pray about it, just pray about it. At that time, that's not always what you want to hear. But as time goes by, you'll realize the only thing that I'm holding on to myself is there was a problem, obviously. And we don't know what the problem could have been or why. They just said it was a spontaneous miscarriage. But just hold on to the fact that he did it for our good. So the only thing that's what I'm holding on to every day. I get down, think about it, I look at the pictures. But the only thing that takes me through, like I said, is he's not going to put more on us than we can bear. So I just wanted to share a little bit of my story. So if anyone else also has a story that you can help me out with, then I would greatly appreciate the response. So until next time, we'll talk later. Bye bye.